Tonight, the stunning and surprise strikes. U.S. jets and Tomahawks targeting Iran as part of a joint U.S. and Israeli operation, leading to a historic moment in the Middle East. President Trump posting the leader of Iran's Islamic regime, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is dead, calling him one of the most evil people in history, adding he was unable to avoid our intelligence and highly sophisticated tracking systems. And working closely with Israel, there was not a thing he or the other leaders that have been killed along with him could do. Khamenei, a political and religious leader, led Iran, which is designated by the U.S. as one of the world's top sponsors of terrorism since 1989. His compound in Tehran, seen in this satellite image, completely destroyed. The daylight strikes left smoke billowing over Iran's capital, this vehicle on fire, and a crater in the middle of the city. Israel releasing this footage, striking a ballistic missile launcher. You can actually see the Iranians as they were preparing to fire. President Trump inside Mar-a-Lago, seen watching it all unfold, flanked by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, announcing Operation Epic Fury this morning.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder.
So it's been reported by President Trump and also the Iranian state that their Iranian supreme leader has been killed. He has died due to the airstrikes. They found him and they did what they had to do. What we see here was the most impressive thing is that you have to understand that America's and Israeli army working together, nobody can stop that. They got him within the first couple of strikes. The reason why that a lot of Iranians are very happy is because he was a dictator. He controlled everything in Iran. He told women that you had to wear hijabs. He was very strict on the internet. He was just controlling everything in Iran. And the big thing about this, he refused to give up some things about the uranium to give back to America because he was trying to go back to building nuclear warheads and stuff to attack his neighbors and possibly attack America. So basically what you saw is that America, Israel, they teamed up because they had enough. There were some talks before, but I guess it didn't work out. So they just did what they had to do. You know, what we have to like about our nation, about our administration, they're not playing around. Look what they did in Venezuela. They got Maduro. Look what they did in Iran. It's not going to be no long, drawn-out war that we've seen from past administrations. It's quick. Boom, boom, that's it. And when we continue to see, right, we see this all the time now, what we've been seeing ever since this has happened, people, the Iranians, have been celebrating all across the world. What you'll see the Democrats talking about, oh, no, this is bad. But understand and look at the people. The people, the Iranian people, no matter where they are celebrating. It's because what they see is freedom. The people there were under a dictator, and when you're under a dictator, he owns everything, he runs everything. And through his rule, their currency has went down. They've had heavy international sanctions. They have rising costs of housing and food. Him being in leadership for Iran was not good. It wasn't good at all. They've always been going backwards. It's because he was the face of terrorism. So, like I said, at the end of the day, man, you have to look at America and look how we're moving. We're getting things done fast. We got a problem in Iran. We're talking. They playing back and forth. They're trying to draw this out. We ain't got time for that. We see what he did in Venezuela. We had talks, people going back and forth, threats is happening. We gonna do what we gotta do and make it over with. That's what I like about President Trump. In this administration, he's quick with things. No, I don't want people dying for no reason. Look, but this is one of these things. If it's a threat to national security, you have to do what you have to do. People will come up with a conspiracy. Well, it's Israel, it's Trump is this and this. They had a deal. At the end of the day, if it comes to national security to America, we have to let our administration do what they need to do. But like I said, what's impressive to me about President Trump and this administration and this term that he has, everything he's done has been quick, it has been efficient. When was the last time we saw a president that didn't have a long drawn out war with somebody, that didn't try to take forever to do things? With President Trump, they make a decision, they get it done, and it's over. This is not going to be a long drawn out thing. Yes, we've seen attacks from Iran, but more and more we'll see from Iran. They're going to start backing down. They're going to start backing down because they have no choice. If you take off the top, you take off the leader from the jump, how do you think everybody else feels? They're going to be like, nah, I don't want to go through that. But that's what's impressive, man. You know, look, America's not playing around. America is showing the world we about that action.
Targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer.
Tonight, Iran retaliating. Israeli air defenses taking out many of the incoming missiles and drones. Here, Israelis huddling under an overpass and crowding inside underground shelters. And also tonight, in a surprise move, the Iranian regime also lashing out against multiple Arab countries, including striking civilian targets. In Dubai, you can see an Iranian strike on a hotel from several different angles. The Fairmont Dubai Palm Hotel hit and erupting in flames. And this image from a blown-out hotel room. Here, Iranian projectiles streaking across the sky.
It's crazy.
That's an Iranian drone nearly striking the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. In Qatar, people scrambling as debris from an intercepted Iranian missile falls on a street. In Kuwait, an Iranian drone striking and damaging Terminal 1 of Kuwait's international airport. And in Bahrain tonight, look at this Iranian strike on a downtown high-rise. Someone inside this building filming as an Iranian drone makes impact. And huge plumes of smoke visible for miles when an Iranian drone hit the headquarters of the U.S. Fifth Fleet. The Pentagon saying no one was injured. President Trump saying one of the U.S. goals to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. The U.S. destroyed Iran's nuclear sites last year, but the president saying the Iranian regime has been trying to rebuild and that ongoing negotiations were not working.
This terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. We sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil.
What we see from the Iranian or the Iran regime, even when the leader was alive, and now what we see a little bit now, they thrive on chaos. They want their chaos, even though they know they don't have a chance. The current leadership, the people that's still there, there's still people that's thinking off of emotion, right? They're thinking off of emotion. They're upset. They're mad. They are using this as the opportunity to attack their neighbors. That's what they're doing. They're using this as the opportunity to attack their neighbors and give them neighbors a little bit of pain before they stand down. They won't be able to hold this up for a long time. They are using this their death of their leader as a reason to create chaos amongst their neighbors. But I don't think Iran thought that America and Israeli was immediately going to go after their supreme leader. But at the end of the day, we're seeing more and more about how the current regime is still acting. But like I said, this won't be a drawn out thing. This won't be something that's going to be years that we have to continue to send people over there. You know, it hasn't been any U.S. deaths reported so far. And all you have to do right now is just pray for these people, because now you have people that are in Iran that are hurt, that are thinking off of emotion. And we're going to take care of that in due time. But for right now, you just got to pray for everybody. You know, you got to pray for everybody, and hopefully everybody gets out of this unscathed. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That's always going to keep this thing rocking. Tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description below. Monday through Friday, 10:21 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got the No Filter morning show. Make sure you tap in, talk about real things, real truth. I appreciate you guys, and I'm out.